Good evening and welcome once again to Thursday. It seems like only yesterday that it was Thursday last time, but it was longer ago than that. Now, I'm having a slight problem with my monitor this evening. It's not quite as clear as it should be. I'm assuming there's a connection somewhere that's just not right, but I didn't have time to dig around and sort it all out. Also, it's not playing any sounds, like when I click the Skullfish button and things like that. It normally plays the sound to me, but it's not. I'm assuming that sound is coming through to you lot watching at home. If it is, please let me know. If it isn't, please let me know. So if you can't hear me, tell me. And if you can hear me, you can tell me anyway, because then I know somebody's heard me. But yes, it's Thursday, so it's time for an evening with the gang. Just this minute, we have one of the gang popped in. So I shall be bringing them on screen momentarily. I've already gone through the introductions of everybody that's in the chat there. So I need to sort out my screen for doing the group thing later, but I'll do that in a minute. We do have with me tonight, as become fairly common, Nat Dexterous Crafter. Good evening, welcome.
Thank you. How are you?
How's the warms doing for you over there?
It's lovely. It's been grey and miserable here.
Today has been better than previously. Yesterday was horrible.
Oh yeah.
But today it's been raining, and it rained right first thing in the morning and a little while ago. It's still warm, don't get me wrong, I've still got the fans going, but it's not unbearable. So hopefully it's going to be okay today.
Well, I must admit, my car said it was about 17 degrees here. It's just, I must admit, we need zips down and we all had coats on. It's like, this is lovely.
Oh, no, it's been more than that. It's been in the 20s here, but it's not been...
Wow.
It was in the 30s yesterday, so it feels a lot nicer. Especially as there was a breeze blowing around today. In the shade, it was lovely. As soon as you go into the sunshine, then it kicks in and you can feel it. But
oh, it's awesome. Ooh.
It was all right. All good, says Eric says all good. So you're obviously hearing me okay. Spring
yeah,
Goose is what
you're saying,
right. But that's just because of normal everything, so you won't worry about that. Keeping Cars saying hi to Mayhem. That was a guy. I see motion, but it could be anything. It says Modern Waking May. Yeah, well, I don't trust you guys. It's Skullfish is here saying huzzah, a mint magnum. I haven't had a magnum for a long time. I'm not really one for ice cream. I don't generally do desserts, But
I like the Magnum, just not the mint one. I'm quite boring when it comes to Magnum. It's got to be like the original one.
mint is good. Mint chocolate chip used to be like, if I was going to have an ice cream, that'd probably be the ice cream. But yeah, I just. Eric says it's my favourite YouTuber, Nat.
Hi, Eric. Hope you're well.
I can kick him off for things like that. It's fine. It's all right. Swigging Pigs here saying evening all. Candygram from Mongo's come along saying hello everyone. Have you noticed how Chris makes Nat look awesome? Is that
Just because I am
because
awesome.
I'm rubbish, or is it because of the quality of the broadcast, or it could go either way? I'm not entirely certain.
With David, you never know.
Keaton's car is saying, "Hey, how long to fix that nano problem? This nano problem there." Wasn't that long actually. Once I'd turned the lights off and cooled down a little bit, it was the layer below the one that I was trying to put on, and it was only like 3 bits positioned 1 block to the side from where they should be. But yeah, it didn't take very long to do it once I'd relaxed and cooled down and looked at it. But yeah, my eyes were really not focusing on things properly. I'm pretty sure the screen is actually a problem though, because I've got 2 screens and one of them's fine and one of them isn't. So I think it's definitely the screen that's the problem. It's not
Great
me.
time.
But yeah. Ghost Rider is here. Oh, it's taking a long time to click through as well now. I think there's internet issues again. Hi guys, hope you're staying cooler, says Ghost Rider. Yes, today is definitely cooler. Thank you very much for asking.
Oh, yes.
Fairy Tale Prince is here. Good evening. Welcome. It's a new name. I haven't seen you before. Greetings from the Netherlands. Great dioramas, sir. Thank you very much. Yes, I keep meaning to do more, but then I'd get distracted by other shiny things and don't. But I have got the 2 tugboats that I built have a diorama in progress. It's only been in progress for about 18 months. And I say in progress, I started it and then put it away. Not really any progress, but yeah, I will get back to it at some point. Atho saying the audio is fine here, I think, in Aberdeen.
Yeah.
I can read abbreviations. Eric says, I was really hoping it's 15 layers ago. Thank you very much. I probably would have noticed if it was the layer before the layer that I was doing, but I'm getting a message. Hang about.
Mum said the sound and picture are fine, so she's being nice to you so you can miss out one of the pictures in your gallery unless you want to slap.
Okay. Apparently the sound and picture is fine. I'm being told from downstairs. She's been nice to me, so I can ignore one of the pictures in the gallery that she might have seen last night that somebody who is in chat might have posted up that got in trouble. Well, actually, it won't be in the gallery because it's a video. So videos don't come through in the gallery, so I will not show that deliberately for you, darling. Yes.
Please don't.
Scott the Junk Works says, once he gets to 100 subs, I'll start sending stickers out to everyone. I have content filmed, just waiting for his computer to get fixed before he can upload it. We're waiting on it, Scott. We've seen some of your videos, but yeah. So go along, find the Junk Works and subscribe.
Oh, yes.
He might even put a link in. Pretty sure he's a mod on this channel. Put a link into your channel so people can find it easily, Scott. Or Dad might do it for you because he does things like that. Fairy Tale Princess, don't worry, I'm a good boy. That's fine. Yeah, we don't mind you. As long as you behave. Going around say the stream's looking 50% better now Nat's here. I don't, why do I put up with these people? I don't know.
You love him, really.
Pascal says, finally, more people from the Netherlands. Is there not enough of you? I don't know. I do have global appeal, apparently. Well, global subscribers. I think that's probably the better way of putting it. But yeah. Mayhem then says, sporks, for some reason. I'm not entirely certain. I think I might have missed out on an entire conversation there. But sporks are great. I'll give you that. Yeah. Chrono Man has no knowledge of what I'm talking about. You have no knowledge of very many things, do you? To be fair. Shane says, hello Mike, hope you and Eileen are okay, as do we all. Graham M's, evening Chris, hi Nat from a very damp southwest France. I bet it's lovely being damp.
Oh, yes, after the weather without.
Keaton Kerr is wondering, there it is, if it's worth building an underarm support rig to hold terminal upright until the stand arrives. Thoughts about storage? Mine is actually hanging on the wall over there. I've put some paracord actually through the chest cage and up and hanging on a couple of hooks, so it's supported sort of from underarm and just sort of hanging against the wall, but I haven't got the arm and the leg attached. I've got those separate still because I know there's going to be stuff to do on the chest plate and things like that, and having the extra arm and the leg on there just going to cause more potential problems and damage. I've still got the leg here actually. Look. Still got the leg, which the leg itself is mainly plastic, but the foot is mainly metal, so it's got some weight to that end of it. So yeah, leave it off, or don't worry too much about it until I can't stand it up again. Now I'm going to have to. It's probably going to move and fall over and press buttons. Yes, so hanging it up or some sort of stand to do that would probably do it. But if you're building a whole stand, it's going to have some sort of base and rods and things, which is basically what they're going to provide you with. So hang it over a door or something. Get some strong string or paracord or something that's going to support it. And that was my thought. That's what I did. Scaling model says moist, because you have to. It's always nice, yeah. Mayhem says the heat has damaged my brain. Not like that's a thing. Not like that's a thing. What, your brain isn't a thing? Or being damaged? I don't know. Yes, okay.
Explains the quirkiness.
Eric says, because you're the half decent thing to watch right now. Right, okay. That's right. Fairy Tale Prince says, great channel, sir. You don't have to call me sir. I like it, don't get me wrong, but you don't. It's not necessary. It's going to confuse me if people start being nice to me, so yeah. Yeah, there's always videos coming up and coming. I've been not building so much at the moment because it's just been too hot, and then lockdown happened and everyone lost their mojo and didn't start doing things, so there is a bit of a lull at the moment, but I'm still doing the part works and obviously the live streams and things, so hopefully you'll find something to keep you amused until I pick up some more kits and start doing things again. Scott has put the link to it. I don't know why I put it on screen, because you can't click on it on screen there, but you can click on it in chat. If you're not in chat, you should be, because that's where the fun is. Make sure you're actually watching on YouTube and find the YouTube icon somewhere if you're not, and click on that. And if you're on YouTube, find this chat. It'll be called live chat, and join in. Just say hello. I do have a homework assignment for you all. Well, not a homework, you've got to do it now, so I'll come to that in a bit. Philip Prime is here saying, evening everyone. Good evening, Philip. Where did I put your...
Hi, Phil.
He sent me some stickers. Jibber stole one. I've got one. I can't remember where I put it. I shall find it and stick it to the sticker board air booth. But thank you very much, Philip. Yours did go in the post today, so you should get them tomorrow. It's everyone's saying hello, everyone.
Stole my sticker for the modelling board. That's why I stole them up.
Well, you sit in the same place, so the modelling board can be for both of you, can't it? Is that not?
Well, he's not here. Yes.
Keaton Carr saying, just saying, would love a bag of Mojos, right? What's are they a sweet or something? Or is it? I don't know what Mojos are. Mojo to us is just sort of the urge to do anything. When we say we've lost our mojo, it just means we haven't got any impetus to actually get up and do anything at all. But if they're a sweet, then that sounds lovely as well. I can imagine them being some sort of fruit sweet or something. But right, so everybody's still here. Oh, Edward's here as well. I think I missed him there. There he was. He said, "Evening, everyone." So, and Ray from Malta's here as well. Hi, Dad, my friend. He says, "Did he say hello to me first?" Oh, he did. He said hello to my friends. Good evening. So that's right. I won't have to get cross with him for ignoring me on my own stream. So, evening, Ray. How's things there? Is it still warm again, or have you been having the rain as well? Swigging Pig remembers Mojo sweets as a kid. I don't think I do. Don't know. Is it a sweet that you've ever encountered? No?
I haven't, but I'm a little bit younger than you, so I don't know if it's a generation.
All right, rub it in. That's fine. Ray says in Malta it's very hot. Yeah, I'd expect so. I used to have Mojos when I was a kid, says Dad, Scaly Models. So it may be a thing, I don't know. But yeah, he's older than me, so you know, he's older than everybody. Edward says hi, Nat and Chris. Right, there we go. Keaton Carr says Mojos were a fruit sweet similar to opal fruits from school tuck shops and sweet shops. Well, yeah, I mean opal fruits were opal fruits, then they were Starbursts, weren't they?
Yes, if I remember rightly from Lewis.
Do you remember them being opal fruits?
I don't remember being opal, I just remember the
Do you remember Marathon?
No.
Because it used to be Marathon before it was Snickers.
I remember the Snickers. Oh. I'm only 90s, Chris.
You for today, I don't know. I think we're all younger than Chris, says Eric. But, apart from Dad, but yeah, probably. Yeah. Thanks, Chris. True, but thanks. Yeah, see, we love you, really. Right, yes, the homework for today that you've got to do live on air now. Ways to cool down. I asked in the Modern Wakers Boom Hut and got a few good suggestions from people. But it's been warm and it's still going to be warm. So how do you cool down? I know a lot of you are watching from countries that are normally warm. So we haven't got air conditioning. Air conditioning around here is opening a window. So yeah, we don't do that because normally it's warm for like 4 days in the UK and that's it. So we don't
Freezing
need air
cold,
conditioning or anything like that. I've got a couple of fans going off in the corner here, but that's pretty much it. I did post in the Boom Hut and said, I remember it being a thing that you apparently if you run cold water over the insides of your wrists, it cools you down because it cools down. That's like where the blood is closest to the surface, and it cools down the blood, and then the blood cools. It doesn't really cool down your blood.
I've heard it, but I didn't understand the science behind that
But
one.
I think it. Well, I don't think there is any science behind it. It's like a pseudoscience type. That must be why it works. But apparently it does. And apparently it's your ankles as well. If you put cold water on your wrists and your ankles, you'll cool down a bit. Personally, I don't. It makes you a bit cooler. It makes your wrists cooler, certainly, but that's generally about it. What I generally do is just splash water all over, and then just let it evaporate off. Because when it evaporates off, that's when you get the cool. But
Yeah.
yeah. Skin Model says, "Oh my God, I'm suddenly feeling very old." Jacqueline's here saying hello, everyone. Good evening.
Hi, Jacqueline.
Keaton Carr says Pacers, mint opal fruits. Yeah, I remember them. Were they the ones that were like strappy? White and green straps, or was that something different again? But that sort of thing.
I'm telling that one.
Lee Eagles suggests an ice cream tub on your head. Is that with or without ice cream? Because I think with ice cream in, it would just be very messy. It might cool you down briefly, but then you'd get all the insects and everything, and it wouldn't be worth doing.
The fancy ice cream now, thanks, Lee.
I can remember one marathon for 7p, says Shane. I don't have... Or I don't like marathon. I never bought them. I don't like nuts. I associate with too many nuts in my life to like them and eat them. So, yeah. Mars bars, yes, Mars bars. I don't remember prices of them when I was young, but yeah. Like during Chris's streams, he says, what was that wasn't buying... Oh, resting up and working if you can. Right, okay, I get it, yeah. Spur and Glue says, birthday suit and fan works, just don't answer the door. It's your own house, you can do what you like in your own house, can't you? They won't deliver again.
I'm waiting to get rid of cold callers.
Yeah, exactly. Or, yeah. No. If it's the blind man calling, isn't it? That's the old joke, isn't it? Blind man. Yeah, I'm here to fix your blind. Oh, I thought, no. But, yeah. Gunner Man says, I thought Dad can remember the invention of sweets in general. Just, yeah. That's quite a nice thing to eat. I'll call it a sweet. No, I don't think he can. It doesn't go quite there. Sarah Jane has another suggestion. Ways to cool down. Move to cooler climes. Yeah, it's a little bit tough to do generally for the, 4 days a year that it's too warm. But, yeah. Ghost Rider says, put your fingers in cold water, you'll pee the bed. Yeah, I think that only works when you're asleep, unless you've got other medical problems. I think if you're wetting yourself just because your fingers get wet in normal life, then you've got other problems.
Yeah.
Keaton Carr says, Pacers did have mint green stripes. Yes, that was them I was remembering. So. Colin's about, First to 67's workshop. Good evening.
Come on.
Oh, Spid's here as well, saying good grief. Why is he saying good evening? You're saying good evening. You know what? I don't know.
It's before 9 o'clock. We're doing well.
Lee says you're welcome, Nat. I'm not sure what that was for. Was that just...
you mentioned the ice cream tub, so I said I fancied ice cream.
Making you want ice cream. Yep. Spid says it's that time already. Shane says J-cloth in the freezer in the back of the neck works really well. Yeah, that might work, but then you have to have the hassle of having to put things in freezers, and how long does it work for really? And then it just becomes a warm cloth around your neck. That's Brew and Glue saying a cold damp cloth on the back of your neck. Yeah.
You're dripping as well down your back and oh,
Well, it only works if you're standing or sitting as well. If you're laying down, then it just isn't. It's just behind your neck, isn't it? It doesn't really work. Let's see. Spid says, I remember when Mars bars had rat poison in, they don't make anything like they used to. I don't think they really deliberately did they? Or was that a thing? I know, was it Coca-Cola used to have real cocaine in it back in the original recipe way back in 18, whenever it was, but doesn't anymore, unfortunately.
okay.
Athel says, no, Chris, Dad's younger than me. Oh, there you go, somebody even older than Dad. Commander Man says, hi, Colin, and then has 4 candles. Because you got to. And Shane says, it's the same as Walker's Crisp, 4p. 4 pence. You can't just imagine anything being, that's 4 pence, thank you very much. You can't do it, can you? No.
Oh God, no. I just about remembered a penny sweets, but that was it.
Yeah, but penny sweets are now like 10p.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
I think Quano Man's been upsetting Dad, so he's getting ready with his band hammer. Everyone's saying hello to everybody. Everyone's still saying hello to everybody, and the screen's not scrolling. There it goes. Ray says it's 39 degrees C. That's a little bit too warm. I've got no idea what the actual temperature here is, but I know it's warmer than it was half an hour ago before I put the lights on. So yes, it's definitely getting there. Move to the North Pole, says Eric. Again, suggestion, but not so easy commuting for work. Somewhat trickier. Butcher that model, Dave's in. Evening all. Good evening, Dave.
Hi, little Dave.
Beanbag in the freezer, the ones you put in the microwave. Not like the ones you used to sit in, because they wouldn't fit in a freezer.
I thought of that actually. Or something like you had in the sports day type.
Oh, the little, yeah, okay, no, I was trying to think what other type of beanbags are there, but yeah, that would, yeah. Would that hold the cold though, would it? I don't know, I suppose it depends what they're actually made of.
Think of.
Don't know. Papa Smurf's here, another name that I haven't seen around before. Welcome. I assume you're not actually Papa Smurf. You might be, but...
Hello again, Papa
evening.
Smurf.
Damp Smurf on a pillow, aids a good night's sleep. I'll probably drown or something. Something bad would happen, I think. Yeah. Everyone's saying hello to everybody still. It's because other people are coming, that'd be why. Hello Papa Smurf, says Colin. Ray says hello Colin. Sprue and Glue says hi Papa Smurf and Pascal. Has Pascal popped back in again? I haven't seen Pascal for a little while, he just remembered that he was here. Shane says that was 1972. What was?
Is that the Mars bar thing with the rat poison or something?
Oh, with the rat poison, was it? Don't know. I was born in 1972, so I wasn't eating very many sweets for that year. Or several years afterwards, but I've made up for it since. Spid said something and then it all jumped. There was a big scare in the early 80s, apparently, where some Mars bars were found to have been doctored with rat poison. It was all over national news. I didn't eat Mars bars for 6 months out of fear.
Nice.
I vaguely remember something, but there was always a thing about rat poison in something. That happened a few times, but it didn't stop me eating Mars bars, I must admit. But I think it was only one isolated location in London or something. So one isolated location in London once had one case of rat poison in a Mars bar. So you, up in the north somewhere, wherever you were in the 80s, didn't eat Mars bars for 6 months. I think that might have been, yeah, taking it a little bit too far, possibly. Keaton Carr says, a tea-towel run under cold water tap, one over the head cools. Even any drips chill your back. So yeah, that's what works with short hair. I can just wet my head and it stays moist because of the short hair, and it evaporates and it's fine. Scanny Model says, I remember that Speed, but then I would, because I'm very old apparently. What do you mean apparently? Have you forgotten that you're very old? Have you got to be really old to forget how old you are? Is that's not good.
I wouldn't say very old, Mike. I would just say You're not quite a spring chicken. You're more like an autumn chicken.
Autumn chicken.
Yeah.
That's not
He's
a
not.
thing.
He's not a young spring chicken.
I don't know about
It's
chicken
probably just
either.
a me thing.
Maybe like a slightly aged vulture or something. No, not a vulture. Not quite as nasty as a vulture, but
He's not
certainly
very old
chicken.
then. He's just slightly old.
All right. Spid's upset. They've been being mean to you, gits. But no, we just mentioned it, and then someone else said it. It wasn't me. You can't prove that it was me. Buy a refrigerator, Taylor. Is that
Is that Taylor or trailer?
a tailor? Is a person who makes clothes, isn't it?
Mm.
So
That's
would
why
that
I'm
be like
wondering
a
if
fridge
it's
that you
trailer.
wear? I don't know. Very strange. Oh, yeah, Dad agrees that we're being mean to him. Apparently, it's not me. Dave says it's nice to see you back, Colin. Indeed, Colin wasn't around for a little while, but he's back now, and certainly back. He did a 5.5 hour stream the other day. So yeah.
Oh yes.
I say the other day. It was yesterday. It quite.
Oh, it
quite
was.
the
It's
other day.
Thursday today. Yeah.
It seems like a longer ago, but I think it was only yesterday. Yeah.
Mm.
Climb inside an empty duvet cover with the fan on. I've heard about this, but I've never tried it. But I can only the fan, obviously you tape or somehow attach the opening bit of the duvet cover to the fan, and it obviously inflates it. So
Oh, yeah.
it might. I don't know how the circulation works or anything, but yeah, I couldn't see the telly if I did that. You'd have to take the telly in with you as well, and then you got the heat source inside. But yeah, I probably won't do that. Pascal says, sorry, not that active in chat. That's not a problem. We know you're watching. That's the important thing. You're here. It's working on a PCB to control my model trains. That's good. Eric will be interested in that. You can talk amongst yourselves about that. That's fine. Dad says, I joined the army in 1972. Yeah, we're not. No, yeah. And Colin says, Wibble. Yeah.
Love you really, Mike.
Spid says, yes, I was a tad paranoid, but maybe they were out to get me. If you can't be sure that they're not, then if they are out to get you, then it's not paranoia, is it? It's just sensible life choices. Mayhem says, speaking of chemical chaos, Iron Brew used to have the same chemical compound as rust. I don't think that... I can't see them doing that as a deliberate thing. It might have had the same chemicals in it, but in different quantities, maybe, or something. But yeah, it wouldn't have been the same, because that would have just been cans of rust, and they wouldn't have been able to sell that. Shane says, in 1984, it sounds like the start of the 18th, doesn't it? In 1984, militant animal lovers claimed to have spiked Mars bars because Mars financed medical research using animals. Okay, so they might not have even done it, they just claimed they did it, and that's enough to stop Spid eating Mars bars for 6 months. Sounds about right. Spid says you've poshed your name now, Athel. He has, yep. I think he's hiding, but quite badly because he's still using the same name. Athel says it's 18 degrees in Abs. It was. I thought that was. Didn't we figure that was Aberdeen or something? But why has it got a Z in it now? I don't know. Maybe he's moved. Conoman was put off eating rat burgers because of the rat poison. Yeah, no, but yeah. It wasn't rat burgers. The recent thing was horse in lasagna, wasn't it, or something?
No,
Tesco's had a thing with
burgers or something. That was horse meat as well.
Was it? All right.
So.
I mean, I've eaten it. It seems quite nice. I wouldn't object. Eric says that's the medium rare type of old. Yeah, just not fully rare, but medium rare. Yeah. 23 here. Is that's you're not 23, Dad? No. Oh, we're talking about temperature, not age. Right, okay, sorry. Yeah.
You're digging.
Dad signed up in 1872. Got a Brown Bess as his first rifle. He's still reminiscent
Ministers.
about the good old days. Keeping your powder dry, don't lose your ramrod. Yep, that's absolutely right. Yep. Candygram says, from my perspective, I don't think scaling models is old. Is that the perspective of someone who's old as well? Because that's often the way it works. Keaton Carter, remember they sacked Captain Birdseye for a lantern jawed younger version and people abandoned the brand. Don't mess with a captain. Yes, absolutely. Pick on me tonight, my turn comes around quickly. Well, I'm just happy that they're not picking on me for a little while. It makes for an interesting stream when it's not me that's the target. Sprue and Glue says Coca-Cola used to contain cocaine. I said that earlier. Colin says we're thinking of doing them every Wednesday. We'll be off before Chris's show. Yep, don't do too much though, Colin. You know, leave them wanting more. That's my idea. If you leave them, you know, too much, then you'll get tired, and then they'll be bored before I come along and bore them. But
Is that talk from experience over lockdown?
get a regular time is a good thing to do. Yeah. Speed says, yeah, he turned from beardy old salt dog into an action man in Aaron Sweater overnight. Yeah, I did remember that, but yeah, it didn't last very long, did it? And I've finished an electrician's apprenticeship too, says Dad. You're not making it better for yourself, you know. Oh, did you notice my shirt? Oh, now talking about old things. Let me there we go. See, never forget. Some people won't remember what any of these things are, but you should never forget the things that you remember. You know what they are?
I do actually.
There you go. Did you remember the joys of having to rewind cassette tapes with a pencil?
I don't remember it, but I don't know because I'm pretty sure I remember like my mum and dad doing it, but no, because I had like.
See, you don't really remember. You just remember a little bit.
I remember seeing it, but no.
And then videotapes of having to put a bit of sellotape over because you'd accidentally ripped off the tab.
No.
Yeah, see. Yeah.
Till I get Lewis back.
As long as Dad's not a chicken at Spiddy's. Yeah, Spiddy had fun with his chicken the other week, didn't he? He left it boiling for a week or something. Ray tells Dad that he joined the army in 1985. Yeah, that's not going to make him feel better. That's like ages later. Phil Lewis is here saying evening all.
Hi, Phil.
And Philip Prime says ABZ is the international designation for Aberdeen Airport. I didn't know that.
Oh.
But there we go. Because obviously AB, Aberdeen, and Z, because I don't know why not. Swicking Pig says ABZ is the airport ICAO code. Wasn't I know what it is. Is it international something airport something? Did I get two of the four right or not? what does ICAO stand for? Spid's asking Athel how are things with the lockdown, because he's got lots of tourists at the moment. Dad's complaining to Phil that he's being picked on. Not my fault, I didn't do it. Phil Lewis says it's hot. Yep. Ghost Rider says when Lucozade came in glass bottles with the plastic wrappings. Yes, I remember that. And used to be able to get money back when you took the bottles back as well.
Yeah, definitely that went back.
Papa Smurf says can't beat a good 3.5-inch floppy. Absolutely. Eric says how quickly things can change. Does that mean I'm going to start getting picked on? I hope it doesn't. Keaton Carr says remember when games were £1.99 on cassette tape from Mastertronic? Yes, our local newsagent used to sell them. I had a BBC Model B as my computer at home, and yeah, used to be able to go in and get, it was like Micro Pros or something was the company that made them for the BBC, and it was like £1.99, and then you took it home and you used to have to sit for literally 20 minutes while it loaded off a cassette tape. None of this instant You know, oh, I had to wait for it to load. It took 30 seconds. It's terrible.
Wow.
Those were the days. And half the time it didn't work properly. You had to adjust the volume control on your tape player to get it just right so it could hear it without it squelching out. And if it didn't work, you had to rewind it and start again at the beginning.
Hey.
Kids of today, I don't know. They don't know anything.
I think the thing I remember that used to be slow is we used to. I think we only had it for about 6 months. Was literally the dial-up broadband. You had to disconnect your phone, get the internet. But luckily, we didn't have that long before the broadband started coming in.
Dial-up broadband, and if somebody phoned you while you're on the internet, it'd often cut it out.
Yep.
Great fun. Candygram says, whenever I want to remind myself of my age and how fast technology moves forward, I note that just about every electronic device that I designed as an engineer is now obsolete. Yeah, that would be quite hurtful. So I created that, and now they've got the third generation of it that's much better, and you can't recognise my work in it at all. There we go. ICAO is International Civil Aviation Organisation. So I got the international bit right, and the aviation sort of to do with planes sort of right. So yeah. Speed says, first time I saw the 3.5 inch floppy, I was using the 5 1/4 at school. Thought the 3.5 was a hard disk because it wasn't floppy. Absolutely right, because it wasn't floppy. The 5 1/4 was floppy. You could actually bend it, but the 3.5 you couldn't. But yeah.
It was floppy, but yet you could still actually use it.
Yeah, but the tape, magnetic tape, is floppy because I mean it goes around reels and
yeah.
stuff. And it was just the disc of it in a plastic case that was 5 1/4 inches. You know what inches are? it was about 14 centimetres wide, square.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And it had a cut on. This hasn't got one on it, has it? No. This is the I've got spit all over myself. I can't show you what it is. But yeah, that was a hard plastic case that had a metal bit that slid off to the side, and that's where the disc was inside.
Yep.
The 5 1/4 didn't have. I wouldn't say it didn't have any moving parts. It was a thin plastic case that was floppy and had a disc inside it that would spin when it was engaged. But it always had a gap on the top that you could poke your fingers on and make it not work very well. But yeah, I'll see if I can find one for next week. We'll do show and tell.
Yeah, because I remember because I have come across the hard floppy disk, but I just never come across that soft floppy one.
I must have one somewhere, but yeah. Mayhem says, I remember when video game magazines with £2.99 came with a tape loaded with 3 full games on one side and the second side was loaded with demos. I don't remember getting full games on anything, but that was probably like a Spectrum thing. They probably did that. They didn't do that for BBC. I remember when games magazines used to have the code written in the magazine that you'd have to sit and type it in before you could play the game. And if you had one typo, one error in typing it in, it just wouldn't work. But it wouldn't tell you where the error was. It just wouldn't work. You'd have to go through it a line at a time, trying to see what was different to what it actually said in the magazine. Those were the days.
Wow.
Just think of all this happening during the early 90s. No internet, YouTube and Facebook. Yes, we did mention that.
No thanks.
I was talking to somebody about it during lockdown. It's like, at the moment, lockdown's fine. I mean, we actually had lockdown happen the day that Disney Plus was released. So as soon as you get told, no, you can't leave your house. Oh, but by the way, here's, 5 million hours worth of Disney content that you can watch, all the Avengers films, all the Star Wars films, all of this and other films that you've seen and forgotten and series. And imagine lockdown without any of that. Without any internet. You're just stuck in your house with your family. It's horrible. Oh, it doesn't bear thinking about. Right. Swiggy Pig, in one of my early jobs, I used to add program updates to an IBM 36 on 8-inch floppy disk. I don't know the 8-inch floppy disk, but they obviously weren't the home version. They were the industrial version. Papa Smurf, anyone remember the Commodore 64? Used to take forever to load up the cassette. Yeah, my uncle had a 64. I only had the BBC, which was 32K. It was half as powerful, half as much memory. 32K, and they had some amazing games on that. Now, if you can't do anything for 32K now. You open up a Word document with nothing in it, it's more than 32K, without any words in it. So the fact that you could have an entire game, I mean, things like Elite, a massive, entire galaxy of stars that you could visit and trade between and shoot and fight. And
Right.
that used to run on the BBC. It's very impressive. Spid says, dial up, going from a 14.4k modem to a 28.8 and thinking it was fast. Well, it was, relatively, compared to what it used to be before, but yeah. My first, not my first use of the internet, but the first thing that drove the internet, the immensity of it into me, is, I don't know the year, but the London Marathon was on. And I thought, oh, I can use this internet to find out about the marathon and find out the route and have it look at it on the screen. So I typed in, the marathon into it, and it just came up with so many results, and it wasn't the London one at all. It was the Boston Marathon, and 27,000 other results before I got to the London Marathon, because I didn't know how to use the internet. I didn't know how to search for the London Marathon. I just thought, it's the marathon. It's the one that's on at the moment. That'll be the one they'll tell me about. And yeah, it just like, there's marathons everywhere on the world, and this thing will tell me about them if I know the right questions to ask. Very impressive. Phil Lewis says, ZX Spectrum, 5 minutes to load a game, only for it to fail at the end and have to go through the whole thing again. Yes, as I said, if you don't get it just right, yeah. Dad's got one in his loft, but I don't know what it was. I'll go back up. It's Commodore 64 that Papa Smurf was talking about. Does it still work? Mine gave up after the first week. No, my uncle's one used to work for a long time. So we've still got the BBC B at my parents' house, but I don't think I've got any telly that will plug into now, because it used like an aerial socket and things and stuff, and it wasn't just a connection. It had another little box in the middle for something. And tellies just don't have them sort of things on them anymore.
Nope.
Athol says lockdown has been increased by another week. So we haven't actually got a full lockdown thingy enforced at the moment, but I'm sorry to hear that, or unless you're enjoying it, but Mayhem says a 3.5-inch floppy disk, or as the Irons refer to it, 3D printed save icon. Yeah, because it's still the save icon, but they don't know why it's the save icon. It's just because it is. But that's actually the thing that used to save it on. Yeah. Springfield's asking why Spid's all over me. Yeah, well now you're all over me. It's just, I can't get... Spid says I always get overexcited on the evening with. Sorry. Sometimes the tape would break, says Mayhem. I don't think I ever had a tape break on me. But yeah, definitely had to rewind it and adjust the volume a little bit and try and get it just right and sort it out and stuff. Quanoman's got a chicken ready meal in the microwave. Not sure how long to cook it for. Gonna go the full Spid and nuke it for 69 weeks. Sounds about right, yeah. As soon as the glass at the front of the microwave starts to warp and bend, it's probably done.
Yep.
I have a note being handed to me.
Don't read this out loud.
It says, don't read this out. I've read that bit, but I won't read the rest of it. I'll have to have a look. Oh, excuse me a moment. Okay, yeah, I won't read that out. No problem. Right. Chicken meal, there we go, that's that. Candygram says that Nat, you're an absolute trooper for putting up with all this geezer reminiscence about the old days.
I actually don't mind it. It just reminds me just how young I am, and sometimes it's like all the stuff we talk about. It's like, you know what? I actually wish I'd seen all the older versions, shall we say?
Yeah, it's strange, but yeah. Ian says it must have been a bit of a bogger. He says if the magazine had a typo on it. I don't think they ever really did. I don't remember them ever apologising if there was, or I didn't type them all in because there was like one every month or whatever that magazine came out. But yeah. Sarah Jane says these old things you talk of are all new to me. Well, there you go. Yeah, Keaton Carr says videos of people watching Queen at Live Aid and 90,000 don't consider there's not a single mobile phone in the crowd. Absolutely, it just wasn't a thing. Then nobody had a mobile phone. A mobile phone back then, there were car phones which were fitted to the car, You couldn't take them out the car because they
Right.
basically installed in a car. That was the first mobile phone. And then there were mobile phones that were basically a briefcase.
Yeah.
that You'd open up, had a handset in it, and that was as mobile as you got. But yeah,
God.
it does. I love technology, and I've always enjoyed it. I wouldn't say I keep up to date with all the latest things, but I'm
No.
aware of stuff. Always have been, and couldn't imagine it any other way. But I know people that don't keep up with stuff, and it's just like, how can you not? It's
It's fascinating what you start with, and it's like where we are now. It's like, wow.
I mean, it's
Makes
going to
me
be
laugh.
everywhere. Everything from, I mean, mobile phones are everywhere. There are still people that haven't got them for choice or because they don't understand them or whatever. Not a problem, But I mean, credit cards. Most people, grown-ups, will end up with a credit card, store card, some sort of plastic device that acts as money.
Yeah.
But you still have people not understanding. I mean, I don't understand how the contactless works and everything else. I've got a vague idea of things and near field communications and stuff, but I understand that it works and how you tap it on things. But you get people that use it that either magically wave it a foot away from the reader and wonder why it doesn't work, and other people that try and rub it through the top of the scanner.
Yeah.
And it's like, because it's called contactless, it doesn't mean you're not allowed to come in contact with it. Some people are like, oh, I've got it really close, but it hasn't beeped yet. I might have to touch it. It's like, you can. It's called contactless, but it doesn't mean to say you mustn't make contact with it. It's not going to explode if you touch it. But yeah, computers are always increasing in speed and everything else. Although that's slowed down now. When I was more into computers, and I have built computers in the past from components, it used to be that every 18 months the price of a computer setup would stay the same, but the speed of it would double and the hard drive would double.
Yeah.
The storage space and the speed of the processing would double every 18 months. And that was true for many, many years, but it's sort of slowed down now. But I'm sure there's going to be some next jump in quantum computing or something that all of a sudden it's just going to go through the roof again. But it's fun. Vincent's about. Evening, guys. Good evening, Vince.
Hi, Vincent. It just makes me laugh with mobile phones. It's like you look at like YouTube. It's like all the adverts with the big brick phones. It's like got small. It's like I remember my 3310, and now it's like you look at phones and it's like they're not far off bricks again.
Yeah. Well, the old thing about your mobile phone has got more processing power than the entirety of NASA did when they landed on the moon, and that's been far surpassed by now. But it's just ridiculous. What did we? Something jumped and I missed it. I can remember being so impressed with the improved quality of Dolby C. I don't remember Dolby C. Dolby's the sound thing, but I don't remember C. Phil Lewis had Elite on the Spectrum. So many hours playing that. Yeah, absolutely. Eric says, the first time the internet actually opened my eyes of what it could do, it's finally got a smartphone with a data plan, made storm chasing a whole lot easier. Yeah, being able to access the entirety of human knowledge from a device that you can put in your pocket, it just doesn't get better than that, unless you can download it straight into your head. Says to Sarah, by the time you think you're up to date, it will have updated. Absolutely, yeah. You got to keep. It's just going to keep changing.
Oh yes.
Spid tells you've missed so much stuff in the 80s. Best time to be a teen. Wouldn't swap that for anything. Yeah, I think my sort of childhood and life has been about the right time. I wouldn't want it to be any later, and I wouldn't really want it to be any earlier. So I'm quite happy with my time of existence, shall we say. But yeah, I want to know what's going to happen in the future. But the past seems like it was quite a boring time. I mean, lots of excitement, but boring excitement, if you know what I mean. It's all, miserable wars and stuff. And
oh god, yeah.
I've invented electricity, but now look what you can do with the electricity. It's,
Oh god, yes.
The Motorola Transportable, was that what it was called? I have no memory of I knew someone, a friend, someone's a friend of mine's dad had one, like the portable briefcase thing, and it was like, that's impressive. That's a phone. You can take it anywhere and it'll work. I say anywhere. You could probably take it to like 3 different towns and it'd work. Anywhere in between or on the road, it wouldn't. But
Oh gosh.
we have a visitor. We have a Spid joining us. Good
Hey,
evening.
Spinny!
Hello.
Are you just here to remind us about old things and make sure
Yes.
we remember that?
Yes, seeing as we're talking about old things, I am quite well versed on old things.
And on that note,
Dad says the 60s was better. Being a teen in the 60s was better, apparently.
I've got to say, the one thing I would have liked to have done, but I wasn't sort of quite old or brave enough, but I would have liked to have seen Berlin in person in the days when the wall fell, because I mean, there were some of the concerts and some of the singers and bands that played there. You know, it would have been amazing. I would have loved that.
Yeah. But
that aside, the 80s was great. It was a great time. Loved it.
well, the music in the 80s was the best.
oh god, yes.
There's no better decade for music.
Yeah, absolutely.
Talking about download speeds, and things would take days to complete. Yeah, I on the internet, on Facebook and things, you see so many stories about people that are downloading. I mean, modern games for modern games consoles are huge. You're talking about things being like 10 gigabytes of memory. Now, I can download 10 gigabytes of memory quite easily in, I don't know, it'd probably take an hour, maybe, ish, that sort of thing. But
I
that's pretty
remember-
quick internet in the UK. I've got people that, in America and things, that say, I have to leave my computer on for 3 days to download it. And it's like, that's
Wow.
America. They should,
I
surely you should
remember
be having the
taking
faster
3
internet.
days to download a movie, which would fit on a CD. We're talking like 600 megabytes worth.
Yep. 650
To download a
megabytes,
movie. It was a case you'd get home from work, you'd dial up, you'd start the download, and then that would be, you'd just leave it, go to bed and just leave it running. 3 days to download a movie, and it was absolutely sickening if you went through those 3 days and then got to the end of it when it had finished downloading and found out it was actually the wrong movie, which sometimes happens. So you'd be down, you know, the title would be right, but you'd find out that you'd got something completely different when it had finished downloading, which was a bit sickening.
Oh
Yeah.
gosh.
Yeah.
Dad says you can't see me with a mullet. No, I never had a mullet. I used to have a flat top. But yeah, it was just too much maintenance. Now I just get a pair of clippers and shave it all off. It's done. Mayhem is saying that £35 a month was originally for 250 minutes, and that was it. No cross network, no texts.
Wow.
Now for £35, you get in 6 gig and 24 gig of data on the phone, and it's all unlimited calls and unlimited texts. And
That's including buying a phone as well.
absolutely, yeah,
You know,
there is that
that's
as well.
that's getting a contract with the phone. I mean, you can my phone is a bought phone, and I think my monthly plan's £7.50 with like 2 gig of data. It's
Yeah, but I mean, back then data wasn't a thing.
no,
No.
It was just about calls. It was, you know, you just used to pay for the thing. I think, was it 3, the network in the UK, that was the first one that actually had inclusive minutes.
I couldn't tell you. I
Before
know
that,
the
mobile
first
phones.
mobile I had was a BT Cellnet U, which was the first affordable one. The first one to come out was Vodafone, pay as you go.
yeah.
And then BT Cellnet U came out with
Oh, this is
originally
before pay as you go. The pay as you go wasn't a thing. It all used to be contract. There wasn't anything other than.
Oh
contract.
yeah.
But you used to have to pay for the contracts, and then you had to pay for any calls you made during that month.
Oh yeah.
So, I think the 3 were the first one that did a. You know, you can have
Right, inclusive.
30 minutes of calls for, you know, inclusive in their price.
Wow.
And it's like, wow, that's impressive. But yeah,
Crazy. I remember just talking about mobile phones. After once phones had become popular, you'd got things. What was the one before the 3310? The
I
really
don't remember
popular
the numbers.
Nokia, but with a little aerial.
33.9.
Can't remember what it was, but I remember.
Yeah, well,
remember
this is
it.
when phones were starting to get smaller and smaller. And there was one night I'd gone to car auctions with a friend. It was one of those places where you stood there in the corner and kept your hands down, because you didn't go like that, because they were like, sold. You're like, oh, what? we're stood there in this car auction, and all the car dealer guys, you could tell them all by their Arthur Daly coats and everything. It's almost like it was a sort of an outfit, a uniform they had to wear, the Arthur Daly camel hair coat kind of thing. But they were all on these big, massive Motorola bricks.
Yeah.
And I thought, why are they all using these phones? Are like ancient, big US walkie-talkie size things, and I couldn't fathom out why. And apparently, it was because there was a company taking these old phones, ripping out all the internals and putting in modern internals and massive batteries.
All right.
And they would last for something like 5 or 6 days without having to be recharged. And because these car dealer blokes were in and out the office and around the forecourt and making and receiving calls all the time, they obviously, these little compact phones, I mean, the modern ones now are amazing when you think about the fact that you can get one of these and you don't, you know, it'll last you all day, possibly a couple of days, depending on what you do with a full colour screen. But the old Nokias, you'd have to recharge them every night, just in general use, you know, making a couple of phone calls, sending a few texts. So yeah, it really surprised me that, but apparently it was to house these massive batteries. So they all walked around with these huge walkie-talkie sized Motorola bricks.
Cool. Right, it's fast approaching time, so I'm going to go across and have a look at the gallery. While we're all here, I'll come across this. I think we did this one last week. This was Roger getting his new cloud base from the hit TV series
Captain Scarlet, is it?
Yes, it says it there, Speed. Look.
Oh yeah, it does.
It wasn't easy to say, I'll give you that, but yeah, it was Captain Scarlet.
That was well hidden. It was camouflaged.
It's camouflage Captain Scarlet. Yeah. We have Tim Young. This week's work at 144 P47D. As he says, he painted it silver, painted the glare panel, applied decals, paint over the decals, and applied different national decals.
So I was just going to ask where he got a massive pot of Revell paint from.
No, 144 plane, so that's all the right size. That's fine. So look, what else have we got? We have Emma Jane, workbench. Oh, this was when we were showing workbenches things, which I've completely forgotten about. But yeah, used to be a dining table, but now it's workbench for a couple of people, which is fine. That's all right.
That's the correct use for a dining table.
I'm sure it's got more use as a workbench than it ever did as a dining room table. That's fine. Dave, that was the truck that the Jeep thing that Paul got him, and he's put a pigsty in and put pigeons all over it. But I believe he's still got some pigeons left over, so I'm not sure what we'll be adding to next time.
That's very impressive.
Fallout 4 wallpaper there as well on his computer. So. I think there's more pictures of that. There is indeed, yep. Close up of the grass. Move the mouse out of the way. Move that out of the way as well. Don't need that there. Put that over there. Move that. Completely different screen. So, yep. This is Lewis. Sideways picture, yep. He's got a rather large rocket there.
What scale is that one?
It's 196.
What size is the Airfix one?
144. The one I got, the Rebel one, is 144. This one stands at 114 centimetres.
The Airfix one is about just past my waist. It's about 3 foot ish. That's
probably not quite as. That's probably 144ish.
Ooh.
I don't know the exact height of the 144 one, but this is 114 centimetres, so that's quite tall.
Yeah.
Yeah, we actually got the kids stood next to it when he bought it, and it literally up to like Paige's eyes.
Wow.
Lewis has again been doing some more photo etch. Teeny tiny little walkways and.
God, I must have got some patience with those tiny
stuff.
bits.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. There you go. Little ladders.
Incredible.
And then bent up to be an actual ladder.
So that's flat and then bent. Yeah. Well,
that's interesting. You don't normally see them side by side like that.
That's really good.
So, yeah. And all the rungs seem to be level as well. They're not got kinks in them, or none of them are broken off. Wouldn't be how it looked for me. Mike, part of the Aston Martin DB8 part work, the engine.
Is that the James? No, it's not the James Bond one, is it?
Yeah,
DB5.
DB8, DB5. Sorry, I can't read that properly. DB5. Yeah, I think it is. I think it's the.
Oh, it is the
big
James
STD
Bond one. I did quite fancy that because it's got the revolving number plates and everything.
Has it? All right.
That
It's
they
going to be quite a
wow.
big scale as well.
Yeah.
Quite a nice size kit.
Yeah,
But I don't need another part work. Iron Man soon, maybe at some point.
Iron Man. One Iron Man.
Steve, the Omega Warglaves. I don't know what they are. They're little robot things. I expect they won't look like that when he's finished with them because
No.
Athel's got a question for you, Spid. We'll come back to that in a minute. He's asking you about your shirt.
I'm not sure.
I saw the first line of it, but I can't read the rest of it here. You're only tiny in the picture. But Jack Bauer wouldn't stand for this. Ah, right, okay, yep. It probably wouldn't, no. It's talking about becoming another series as well.
Apparently, yeah. Somebody told me that when I was,
He's
I was
up
just
for it,
coming out of
but
the shop.
if the storyline's right, he's up for it, apparently.
Another one.
Steve has got more of that, and more of that. Lost Planet, and things.
Cool.
Wow.
That's very sort of MAK, isn't it, that one?
Yeah, I don't know. It's from Lost Planet, which is obviously a game, but not one that I've played, so I don't know anything more about it. But
Right.
yeah, Dave does say, in case anyone was getting concerned, I still have 2 boxes of pigeons. I'm fine for pigeons, he says.
I was going to ask Dave about the pigeons.
Adam's here, the radio modeler. Good evening.
Hi, Adam.
Let's go through more of this. We have an A-Wing. I don't know what flavour it is though. Oh, it's Revel by the looks of the instruction manual down there. Very nice. Steve's got his collection of hovery things. He's going through a hover bent at the moment. So
Yeah, I do like his hover bike, that one there. I like that.
Yeah, now it's in primer as well. It just comes together, doesn't it?
Mm.
His hover drone thing, the other hover bike thing, and his hover flatbed sidecar something.
Wow.
I have no idea. This is Alex. He's been painting. Yeah, very nice. We all know he can paint something special. So, yeah, I think he's going for some sort of. I can't remember what's the name for it when the light comes from one source. Object source lighting or something.
All right.
He's going to have a fiery blade and the light coming from the blade to light up parts of the armour.
Wow.
It's very shimmery. I love the cloak on that.
That is beautiful.
Yeah, he really knows what he's doing. Emma Jane has been doing some Daffodil Cottage. 00 gauge, 176 Gardener's Cottage.
I like the little vegetable garden.
Where there's
That's
always a cup of
amazing.
tea and a piece of cake ready. I've said before, I like the dioramas that are different, more normal life dioramas rather than it's always war and sci-fi and stuff. So it's really nice seeing something different.
I do like railway stuff. I like watching railway stuff when they make big, like, proper bits of scenery and everything. It's fascinating.
I say it's different. It's obviously not different if you're doing a railway. Because people do railways of real villages and stuff like that, and all the dioramas come on. But we don't normally see pictures of them like that. You see the whole railway, but I don't know. It seems better when you see just the one piece. I don't know. It makes more of a focus of it.
I wonder if rail diorama providers have started producing little O gauge or double O gauge figures with face masks yet.
Quite possibly.
I can see it happening.
Sean's been doing the little Meng Toon Tank things, isn't it? Yep.
Yes, yeah. I like that. That's nice.
Yeah, I like the little diorama in it, a little sort of fun diorama of it running over a fence.
Yeah, it really sort of lifts it up from just another little kit, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Graham's been doing an ATST. The one thing that these kits get let down with is in the base. It's always just a moulded plastic thing and it just looks a bit rubbish.
Mm.
But obviously once it's been done you can do things to it. But considering the detail on the kits themselves, the bases do certainly let them down, the stock base.
Yeah, it's not much of a base either, is it, size-wise?
No, they're not overly large. Big enough, but just, yeah.
Mm.
Lewis, I don't know what that is. It's the inside of something.
That's the Lancaster, is
I'm
it?
expecting it's either a plane or a boat.
10th of August, that'll be Lancaster.
It's sideways, whatever it is, I can't tell. There we go, he's got it the right way around. Yeah, oh, that's definitely coming together.
Oh,
isn't
look
it?
at the detail in that.
That's nice, isn't it?
Isn't it just?
Yeah, 'cause he's looking forward to it, because with his kit, he got the limited edition see-through fuselage.
Oh,
So
right.
he's doing like,
So half of it's going to be clear, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's going to look amazing.
Rivets down the side there.
I wish more kit manufacturers would do that. There was a range of cars a few years ago, Esky, they did crystal kits, and they did cars with see-through bodies,
Oh, right, yeah.
and they were really good because you could either paint them just like normal, or you could leave them so you could see all the engine and interior.
Yeah, I mean, it's often a thing when you build a kit and it's got a whole engine assembly and everything, and then you cover it all over, never to be seen again.
Where's that 148 Hellcat? I think it was 148. The Hellcat he did, literally with all the white copper wiring to do the engine, and it's like, we can either have it covered or open. It's like, why would you go through all that headache and work
Yeah.
to see it?
Well, it's the same with the Millennium Falcon and the X-Wing, the part works. You put so many weeks of effort into an engine, and then you put a cover over the top of
And
it.
then you cover it. Yeah.
We have Adam joining us as well, Raging Modeler. Welcome.
Hello.
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 I'm going to continue on though, because that was David's. I don't know what it is. It's obviously some sort of walkie something.
It's kind of like an ATAT, but with
It's got more articulation in the legs. I'm not sure if it's meant to have a rider on it as well. It's got like
looks like a seat with handlebars, doesn't it?
I think it does have a rider. It is from the Clone Wars board game, I think, isn't it?
Oh, right.
Or something like that. It's definitely Star Wars. I've seen a few of these about. Cause I've got a friend who's painting his selection of Star Wars games.
Ooh,
I keep inviting him to the
makes
group,
it.
but he never does because he's.
I have built an Imperial Walker thing that's like an ATAT with a rider that sits on it, but I've given that away to a friend. That was a Revell kit,
Oh, right, yeah.
but it's a kind of similar idea to that one.
Mike was asking, I saw this post, he's asking what colour he should paint this. He's been getting the Mortal Realms set, and obviously this has come with it, some sort of crypt. He says that's the paints he's got so far. He should have more paints than that though, at this point of the Mortal Realms. But what colours should he paint it? People have been suggested basically it's like whatever you like, or it's like an abandoned crypt, so it's going to be sort of stone and that sort of thing. But yeah,
there's a really good video on. There's a really good video on. I think it's Opus YouTube channel, and they do a lot of getting really good layers and dry brushing techniques just by dry brushing, and it's looks amazing, but it's really nice and steady. It's just literally just layering dry brush after dry brush, and it looks fantastic.
I know Mike. He's
give that a check out.
Not really a painter or a builder. He does a lot of part works. He's getting starting to do these sort of things, but dry brushing is a technique that takes a little while to get into and takes a long time to do. But it can give you really stunning effects.
It's easy to get carried away when you first start doing it.
It's very easy to do too much.
I did it. You take too much.
In that case, I would.
Not doing anything.
I would say just go for something very stony, black iron, so black with silver highlights, and maybe like a. For the roof, I'm not sure. But
when you start
for the main bulk of
it feels like you're not putting any paint down, so you get more on, and then you're not dry brushing anymore. You're just painting.
Yeah, you put too much on it.
This is mine. If anybody watched yesterday, I had trouble with this. I had trouble with my eyes being able to see things yesterday as well, but I had trouble with the bit over this side because the pictures in the book are sort of from this sort of angle, and that you can count how many bits up and around. But I stuffed up over here and put some bits, one block to one side, and then trying to put the top block on, it just wasn't lining up. But I managed to get it apart and figure out where the problem was and corrected it. Jeff says, I hope it doesn't take too long to find and fix the issue. Yeah, it's very easily done, but now I found it. Shame on you for not staying in there and rectifying it on the stream. I don't know. Some people can just be very rude when they put their comments and messages.
Who said that? That's disgraceful.
I don't know. I got where's the ban button? Remove no. Yes. That's we've got someone's put stuff up since I've gone live. Edward has been putting up. Is that Is that just a gun, or is that a limb? Or
It's a limiting that
kind of gunnish,
it's huge.
isn't it?
It looks
Oh,
like a gun. It looks like
That's
it's a
That's a
gun.
legend. That is.
Oh, it is a gun. Wow.
That's the
I'm
gun, but
assuming
it's
That's
the
a
size of his
BFG.
entire
That is a
body.
BFG.
It's far too over the top, but yeah. There we go.
More
That's
Dakar.
other bits of it. Yeah,
Oh yes.
that's going to be lovely once he's fully armed.
Wow.
And that's the end. That's the end of this week's. I shall stop sharing. I'll remove the thing from the stream. And then there were 4 of us. Look, we can do the whole living in little boxes thing. Right, I did try and keep an eye on the chat, but it just, yeah, I didn't. So
Yeah, there was
I'm not sure why.
question-
Athel was asking how much room you got in your bedroom, but I don't think we need to answer those questions.
Next question up. Ian asked a question. That's what it was. Yeah.
Best process on deciding on a scale for a model, is there any logic to it? In what way do you mean? I mean, when you buy a model, they generally tell you the scale for it. But do you mean when they're making a model? Because a lot of kits are made to a particular scale. I mean, I used to and still try to build a lot of 144 scale stuff, which is all the same scale. So people are that big, so cars are that big, and giant robots are that big. But a lot of manufacturers, Revell in particular, seem to build a kit and then think, we'll make it this big, and they design it and build it, and then they work out what scale it is, which is why you get some that are like a scale of 1 to 102. They just sort of make it up as they go along. But if you're talking about you're going to be like scratch building or doing something yourself, and you want to decide on a scale for it, it's whatever size you want it to be. I don't know. Anyone got any ideas on that? Or
Yeah, well, I mean, if I don't know if you're asking from a perspective of starting out building, then it's really down to personal preference as regards trying a couple of your chosen subjects in that scale and see what you think. Like for a little while, I built 1/72 scale planes simply because they take a little less room up. But then I moved on to 48 scale because they've got more detail. And I would rather have fewer planes with more detail taking up the same amount of room. So from a collecting perspective, it's really down to what's available and what you fancy and what you want to build. Like Chris says, with scratch building, it's really a case of looking at the space you've got to fill and trying to build to fill that space. So the scale could be whatever just happens to fit. But deciding on a scale as regards the manufacturers, they just happened for numerous reasons over time. Like your 72nd and 76 scale are very close, and 76 is HO scale for railways.
I think, yeah, one of them is.
So it's one of them, isn't it? 35th scale for tanks happened because Tamiya originally made motorised tanks, and a specific size of battery happened to fit in them because they were motorised. And that's why they were built around being able to hold those batteries, and 35th scale became the common thing for those. But yeah, there are reasons that the scales happened. But as regards building yourself,
I've just been looking down there. He does say he's thinking of the manufacturers producing the models initially, how they decide on a scale.
how they decide.
Yeah, I think a lot of the time
sure.
they just build it and they make a prototype or whatever, and that's the size that they want. That would be a good size for people to make, and then they work out what the scale is afterwards.
Yeah, that definitely
Yeah,
happened.
surely with some manufacturers. Surely with some manufacturers, though, they're going to take into account, like, especially now with being able to scan 3D images and have the thing and then like scale it down. I mean, back then, don't know, but now maybe it's more unified. I know Revell is kind of everywhere, but a lot of the other manufacturers are kind of 144, 172nd, 132nd, you know, and stuff like that. So maybe maybe some of them have set certain things. Because I know, like, you get a certain tanks, there's like 8 different scales, and so maybe it's a case of, hey, we'll do it this one, then it's easier. Then because quite often as you go up in scale, it becomes more complex, doesn't it?
Yeah, I can see over there one of the Revell Anakin's Jedi Starfighter, and I can't make out if it's 1 to 50 or 1 to 58. but it's not a normal scale. But that's one that I think they just built and made it like a box scale, this sort of thing, and then figured out what the scale is because people were probably asking.
If it's Rebel, and it's a Star Wars kit though, it's probably just a made-up number anyway. Because I had 3 TIE fighters. I had a TIE Interceptor, a TIE Fighter, and Darth Vader's TIE Fighter. And Vader's TIE Fighter was supposed to be the largest of all the scales of the 3, and it was about 3/4 of the size of the others. Literally, the figure of Darth Vader was that big, and the figure of the TIE Fighter pilot was, about 4 millimeters bigger.
Yeah, you can't always trust the scales. I do. When I started building at 144 scale, I loved the idea of having, or I still do, I love the idea of having everything at the same scale, irrespective of genre and everything else. So I've got, I've got a TARDIS at 144 scale. It's just a little 3D printed thing. So I'll print it out and paint it out.
It's 1/8 scale inside.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Hey.
But there's a, I think it's a Sherman tank at 144 scale. So to see the two of those together, I mean, probably you can probably find pictures of a TARDIS and a tank together, but you can't find pictures of a TARDIS and the Millennium Falcon together, or a Gundam and a tank, or it's the pleasure of having the two completely dissimilar things together.
That is interesting though,
and seeing the scale between them.
Because you tend to think of Shermans as a fairly small tank. But to see that next to what was a phone box, it used to be a police phone box, didn't it? Yeah. Which is about the same size as a red phone box, as was. So, yeah, it's interesting.
Only on the outside.
Yes, only on the outside, of course, yes.
But, I'd still like the idea of being able to compare things. I mean, I've got the space shuttle, and I was surprised how big the space shuttle is in real world terms. I mean, it's that long.
Yeah.
Compared to, a tank. It's
because again, I think the problem with a space shuttle is you tend to see pictures of it in space.
Yeah.
Or strapped to the back of huge booster rockets. So it doesn't physically.
There's never really anything to. But when you look at it and think,
you've not.
The trouble is, you see the window at the front and think, that's where the pilot sits. But there's actually like 4 of them sitting next to each other across the front of
you don't. That's it.
It doesn't really sort of register. But yeah.
Well, the Saturn V that I built, and when I built that's actually no. It is. I remember now because it's got 2 little pilots in it, and I remember at the time looking at because I bought a couple of sweet 144th aeroplane kits, which are really, really good, incidentally. And I remember putting one of those next to the shuttle, thinking that's an actual size comparison, which just shows the immensity of this thing.
Yeah. And
then about a month later, I was browsing pictures on Google when I was painting it, and I found
those pictures.
I found a picture of the Saturn V, one of the thruster bells with a guy stood next to it, and that again really sort of makes you go, wow, look at that.
Yeah, well, I've got the Saturn V in 144, and as you say, it's about 3 foot tall.
Yeah.
And you see that next to a phone box, or it really is astounding. A couple of people have told me that it is 158th. Star Wars normally is 158th.
Right.
So there you go.
Can we not just have 40k 40k scale? Just be done with it. Just like everything's 40k scale. Then you can convert anything for Warhammer, and that'll just be the best.
Yeah, no, that's not going to happen.
I think the problem with that is Warhammer doesn't even know what scale it is anyway.
It varies, doesn't it? So
What scale is this?
Didn't Foster Care work out or something when he did his kit bash?
Epic.
Spring Blue's asking Nat how the knitting's going. I see she's getting bored. She's doing it now. So.
Slowly. No, it's because the hedgehog. I shall find a hole then. The hedgehog sort of testing my patience. I'm getting ready for lobbing it for the window. So, me and my nana, grandma, whatever you call them, where you are, we're actually doing a joint project. But she's a hell of a lot quicker knitter than what I am, so I need a head start.
When you say
Right.
joint project, have you got a really, really, really long ball of wool and you're starting from opposite ends to get to the middle
Yeah,
first?
meet in the middle.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
We
That'd be
have
fantastic.
But yeah, it's like that's what we're doing at the moment. We're doing one for each. So I'm doing the blue one for Connor. And Nana's
okay.
doing the pink one for Paige.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, that's the plan. But she'll literally she could do something like that in like a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So I need a big
This
head
nano
start.
thing, they're like machines when it comes to knitting.
Oh, God.
And
I
don't pay
remember
attention to
my
what they're doing.
grand-
They're just doing it and talking to you or watching telly. And
Yeah.
all of a sudden it's done. There you go.
I'm not too bad. It's like if I put my needle into a stitch, it's like quick look down. It's like I can do the rest of it, like paying attention, but it's like, right, make sure it's where it needs to.
When we were kids, we'd go and visit my granddad, and my grandma would be like, "Oh, right, hang on a minute, while you're here, get the tape measure out and measure us up for jumpers." And then the next week, we'd go and
Yeah,
see
I've had
them
that happen.
with a new jumper. You're
Oh
like,
wow!
You're on that.
"Dream."
Right, I'm going to start wrapping it up tonight because it's getting warm in here again.
Starting to
It
bake
is
again.
warm.
It's getting there.
Chris, just be
So,
happy you're not a chef working in the kitchen. This
I
is
am very
the
happy that
worst
I'm not a
time to
chef.
be a chef.
Yeah.
Dear God.
I am happy I'm not a chef, and also the people eating are happy that I'm not a chef as well. So it works out for everybody.
Whereas,
But it's
if
so-
I were a
it's
chef,
so
people would be
insane.
delighted. You've all seen my chicken.
Yeah, they don't want to do your chicken either. No, that's fine. Spring Glue says, let Nat talk for a change. Nat's been talking. Nat can talk now. There you go. See?
The one time he asked me about it, that's what to say.
Oh dear. Right. Athel's telling Adam I had a carpet with that design, but it got burned by a battery acid, so I had to go. I don't know what it took.
I don't know what I said.
Talking about records and stuff as well. So right, that'll be it for the night. Thank you all for joining me. I know you weren't here for long, Adam, but thank you for popping
It's
in
all right.
anyway.
Well,
Hopefully
it's,
you're
I've
not
not
so
been on a while, and it's
you know.
So he's been back at work, Adam.
yeah. Well, I'm going to take I think I'm taking the month off from painting and stuff like that. It's too warm, and I'm just busy at work because it's the help out to eat out thing. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. It's
You're
just
It's going
not
crazy.
hell on earth. It's
Absolutely
just hell on
mad.
earth. Like I'm running around, and like service is done. And I look behind me. It's like I've got to clean all that up now. Crap. It's just
Aren't you in charge of the
absolutely
kitchen? Can't you
mental.
get someone else to do it?
No, I'm.
Yeah, you've got my sympathy.
There's the manager, 2 chefs, pot washer, and then the front of house staff. So I have to do it myself. And they have their own stuff to do, but the pot washer
Oh.
just does the pots. He's not like a regular. He's not like a regular KP who would say like, right, you clean this up now. But even then, as a KP would normally just like you would as a chef, you would normally clean up everything yourself, your workstation, your area, and then they would just do the floors and brush up. But I do it on myself because after about 3 o'clock normally, ish, it kind of quietens down a bit. I say that, but from
A bit.
like,
Not
I'm
not
certainly
completely,
till
but a
4
bit.
o'clock.
But yeah. Well, now it's not Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, so it'll be a little bit better, maybe.
Just when nobody's looking, just change the sign. Just cross out the eat out to help out, and just write go home to help out.
Yeah.
Cross out
I'll
the
just
Wednesday,
put-
or something, and you just do Monday and Tuesday. Or Spring Glue
put,
saying, "Can I plug?" Absolutely, of course you can. New video's gone live on your page. Great, everyone go and overwatch, like and subscribe, and everything and stuff as well.
Absolutely.
It'll just be swear
Absolutely,
off
pimping's
you
are good.
swearing swears.
Yeah. Well, I've got to start pulling my hobby room apart. So hopefully I will have pictures of a new bench, because somebody today in the local free ads was giving away old officey type desks with the
Oh,
drawers.
right, yeah.
And my desk at the moment is literally just a table. It's not that big in the grand scheme of things. So so I had to drive up the road today with a handful of Allen keys and what have you, and took apart a thing which is currently occupying most of my car, my tiny little car, until I pull everything out of my hobby room and sweep all the floor and clean it all up and reorganise it and build a new desk in there. So
Trouble is, you get a new, bigger bench with loads of room, and then you fill it up with stuff.
You can fill it.
yeah, that's the problem. I'll end up filling it up with crap.
Right, let me get rid of you one at a time, as ever. Adam, thank you very much. You were last in, so you're first on my list to be removed. So
Always a pleasure.
thank you very much. We'll see you again
Ladies.
another time.
Bye, Adam.
Spid, you were next in, so you get removed as well. So thank you again.
Bye all.
Bye, Spiddy.
And Nat, thank you again for joining us.
Thank you very much again for having
See
me.
you soon for other stuff and things.
You would have. Thank you very much. Bye, everyone.
Bye bye. And then there was one. It's just me, so you know. Yeah, not much happening for me until eModels on Monday. I might play a game and stream it over on the Team Inept. It depends how warm it is. I like doing the VR games, but having a thing on it's just too hot. So if it cools down over the weekend, I might not. But keep an eye out. You never know. Other than that, I shall see you on Monday for eModels. Then Wednesday, I've got something else a little bit different to do on my midweek makings. So I shall see you there for that. Obviously, other people streaming throughout the week, you'll know who's doing what, and you've subscribed to everybody's channel, so you get notifications when they come on. So come and watch everybody, and I shall see you soon for more stuff. And thanks for watching. Stay safe, and see you soon. Bye bye.